So are you one of those golfers who generally hits some good shots, but occasionally you've got that thin one, that horrible strike? And even the good ones, though, you kind of feel don't really get the distance that you hope, expect. So I'm going to show you in today's video what the very best golfers in the world all do, but unfortunately, not too many club golfers do. So the key thing to remember is don't maintain your height during your golf swing. Now, you heard me correctly. I said don't maintain your height. So many golfers will talk about, if you drew a line on my head there, that they want to maintain that height on the way back, swing down, keep that height perfectly and collect the ball. But the only problem is you don't see the best players in the world like that at impact. What you see is they're there at address, and yet at impact, they're much smaller, more shaft lean, and the body opened up. So I want you to understand the feeling we want and almost how you want to fall towards the target in order to get more speed, get a better strike, and hit the ball, if not exactly like, more like the best players in the world. So we're going to get rid of the club to begin with. I'm going to cross your arms over your chest. And what we want to feel is on the way back, you're going to turn and get that right hip, trail hip going back behind you. We want to move towards the target, but we want to move down and towards the target so that as the left hip turns out the way, it moves up, opens up that lead side and gets that going. So we want to rehearse. Turn, shift down and turn out the way. And if you can build that feeling and then build some speed into there, we're going to get a lot more interaction with the ground, start really using your body better, and start getting some energy into that club head. So obviously, we know club in the hand, it's incredibly easy. So then let's feel that as a couple of practice swings. And straight away there, you could hear the interaction with the ground. Really quick, nice and powerful. And again, easy, because there's no golf ball. So, probably what I would tend to see with golfers who maybe aren't the best ball strikers is that they don't always get that low point very far ahead, so the club's not traveling down and hitting ball and then ground. But what you tend to find is that those golfers are the ones who, as they're swinging and maintaining the height, they actually don't. The lead side's moving up, and that's where they miss the ground altogether, or they even fall back and lose that low point behind the ball. So like I said, that felt great. Let's see then, as I set up, can I get that feeling when the ball's there? So we're going to get that hip going back. We're going to shift down and forward so that as that leg straightens and the hip moves back, should generate more speed and should get me interacting with the ground that little bit more. Felt good. And we see a massive jump in club head speed, over 91 mile an hour, low point 2.3 inches ahead, and carry out there at 172. Now, I'll be honest, for me, even for me, that feels more exaggerated than normal. And I'm definitely guilty, don't video myself too much, but I'm definitely guilty of kind of getting here and just feeling that I move my weight towards the target, but I'm not creating more pressure into the ground, so I can't take advantage of that. And for a lot of you, it will feel very, very different. And for anyone who kind of moves around a lot side to side, this can be a great way of stopping the slide, the sway, and feeling a bit more centered as you hit the shot. So as a first go, that was absolutely fantastic. So again, we're going to turn back, shift down on the left, and it's almost feeling like I'm falling down towards the target. Let's try and exaggerate that feel. Maybe just a tiny bit thin, but again, over 91 mile an hour, 3.3 inches ahead, and 173 And be honest, that didn't necessarily feel like the best strike, but it feels powerful. The nice thing with it as well, and until you try it, you probably won't believe me, there's actually tons and tons of control. Because when I'm not doing this, I get there, my hands and arms try and square the club face up because my body's not turning out the way. Whereas I get here, down and left, as my body starts turning out the way, that's controlling that club face, be nice and square. And any of you that have watched my older videos, you'll tend to see a lot of right to left shape. And that's simply because I'm closing the club face nicely, the body stops, there's that shut face. Whereas now I can start getting more that way. There's the squarer club face. I'm down to the golf ball. And hopefully you'll agree, that's more the position that you see all the best players in the world like. Feel free to comment below. I'm sure you'll agree I don't hit it as well as the best players in the world. But it's important that you understand what they do. Even if you can't quite do it, can you get more like them than you currently are? So again, we're 91.6. Let's be really aggressive. See if we can get 92. Don't feel quite as good. Club head speed, fantastic, 92.4. Low point even further ahead. And again, 173. Whew. It's warm down here today. First time all year that we've actually had a couple of nice warm days. But remember, when you're practicing something in your golf swing, what does practice make? Comment below. Did you put perfect? Because practice makes permanent. Perfect practice makes perfect. So if you're working on the right things, you're going to get better. If you're working on keeping that high and staying dead level, you're in trouble. So let's go one more really good one to finish. Long time since I've been there, but let's see if we can get to 94. Get that low point ahead with that nice aggressive movement, falling down towards the target. A little bit out the toe. Club head speed super good though at 93.4 mile an hour. 1.8 inches ahead. Still 170 with a little miss hit. So like I said at the start, please don't try and maintain your height in your golf swing. The best players in the world don't do it, so you definitely shouldn't. Definitely want that feel of right hip back, down and left, left hip out the way. Do it without a club, then with a club, then to the ball, and I guarantee you'll hit some shots like you've never, ever hit before.